Welcome everyone to this brand new episode of Meeting Half West, starring me, Mark, and once again Bodge.
Me, Veronica, and we're here with our two most special guests. I think the most important guests we've ever had
On this whole
Indeed.
podcast.
in the entirety of this entire podcast.
You better believe it.
Rusty Cage.
And EmpLemon.
Hello.
That's right. I apologize. I don't know how much it comes up there. I apologize if my appearance is a little obscure.
Do you want
How-
to explain where you were?
Yeah, I got my face got brutalized by the sun while I was on top of a mountain, and now I have this sunburn mark that I'm told makes me look like the Joker. But all it does is remind me of how society has tormented me, and now I have a physical, probably not permanent, reminder of that.
We keep smiling
Yes.
through brutalization.
Oh, it's gonna be great once your skin starts actually peeling off, if it does.
It's starting.
Oh, good.
The transformation is beginning.
You'll have scars now.
Yeah.
If you did have Joker scars, do you think that would be like a plus in life, or do you think that would be like people would look at you like,
That would be a plus.
because you like you unique presence, you know, like it's always awestruck.
No, but can you picture that like all the time on your wedding day? You have the Joker smile.
Or at your funeral.
Man,
Or-
so you just want to be sad, but you have this big smile on your face.
Wouldn't it force you to be happy? Don't you think?
No.
Maybe.
No. Well, let's try it out.
So,
What do you guys do for anyone who's unaware?
Well, I'm currently building a guillotine in my backyard.
I'd say it's built already.
Yeah, it's built. I just got it's almost done. I've been making this series for, almost a year now. I thought it was gonna take about a few weeks per video, but it turns out to be like 2 months per video. Either way, it's been really fun to do. It's stressing my limits of creativity and editing and all the surrounding elements of making a video, but in a beneficial way.
yeah.
Yeah, I've been having a lot more fun working on this than anything I worked on YouTube before.
Children's music.
Children's music, yeah, and just like goofy nonsense videos. Now I can read and rave.
That's right. And I suppose I've had to pitch myself to a lot of different people. I went to like a tech party with a Kino Corner like a week ago, and no one knew who I was, so I had to come up with a synopsis. So this is what I'm going to tell you. I make sort of a documentary type video essay, although I'm not a big fan of the term video essay. Yeah, documentary type videos on historical or cultural topics of note. I prefer kind of obscure stories that are not really well known, and I try to do a good job. That's why the videos take forever. Don't blame me. Also, I have a second channel where I turn myself green and complain about stuff. So I hope for those not familiar with the EmpLemon process that will key you in a little bit on the basics.
I will say, like, how I discovered both of you guys' content. I've known about your content for years.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've
Okay.
obviously like the next song, like that was incredibly popular growing up,
Right.
and then seeing not only you create music, but then also you're an artist, and like the production value behind your videos is always just like there's such a great aesthetic to it all that I admire so much.
Oh, I appreciate it. I mean, yeah, definitely. I have my interests all over the place. It's one of those things that's like, it's hard to focus on just one thing. Do I want to start making music, like make another album, or work on a comic book, or one of those two, and then I'm neglecting YouTube, or I want to focus on YouTube and I neglect everything else? I think I'm doing too many things.
That's fair.
Building a
Yeah.
guillotine and
Yeah.
writing a graphic novel and
Yeah, because if I please one person, then everyone else is mad because like, what's the next album? What's the next comic? I'm like, why did I ever start doing anything at all?
you gave too much of yourself to them and now they want more.
Yeah, I offered too many obligations.
And then I think I'm
You're the one who showed me your stuff,
Yeah.
which
We were just in Ireland one day, and I was like, "Oh, put on the Donald Trump video."
and I was like, what? And I was like, this is great. Like everything that I saw you said, and I was like, oh, you just know what's up. That, and I will say, I have to say this, you turned me on to WWF.
Really?
Yes, you convinced me.
Fan now.
Before I was like, what the fuck? I don't care a shit about people like slamming each other. And then I saw your video about it. I was like, okay, I have way more of appreciation for this craft.
The truck video and the WWE video. It feels so long ago now.
Well, I first found you from the your video about high school.
Really?
You ranted about your high school.
That was like the 2016 era.
Yeah, that's when,
Weird transitional era of EmpLemon.
yeah. I think that's when you made your behind the meme stuff. So all your previous videos started getting recommended more. So that's why I started finding.
Are you ever gonna get behind the meme on this show?
Well, is he still doing stuff?
I don't know. I want to put him on Downward Drive, but I don't know how to get in contact with him.
I'm sure there's someone. Yeah, he doesn't upload anymore. He did didn't he have like a weird?
He came back.
Really?
He's uploading to YouTube on his channel again.
What the fuck? What's he uploading?
He's reviewing memes. He didn't learn his lesson after I so unceremoniously removed him from YouTube. No, I'm not a bully. We're not about bullying on this channel. It's definitely not successful at getting what you want. But I would like to get him on the Downward Drive.
I think it's been so long that he might be dying for it.
Did you hear that?
Behind the
Channel.
meme, you have to be watching this. This is your open invitation. I'm once again issuing an invitation, but contact me. My DMs are open on Twitter.
There's interesting though, like I hear it from a lot of people who like watch your content and they'll say like, yeah, he got me into NASCAR, or they previously would have zero interest in the topic.
That too.
Right.
That's a good skill to have, especially when you have like such a wide variety of topics that you cover.
That's right. I guess going back to my motivation for making a lot of these videos, obviously they're not on successful popular topics going in, but a lot of these videos, at least back then, it's kind of a thesis as to like why I'm interested in something. And it'd be like it would come a lot like watching NASCAR, no one else does. I bring it up to people say it's stupid. So it's like, okay, here's a 50-minute video explaining why maybe it's not stupid.
You turned it into like a 3-act narrative,
Yeah.
like a story, an underdog story.
Here's why maybe I'm not like a total dork for enjoying this thing.
Yeah.
Well, I know with me,
Just
when we
one of
went
the
out to
chats.
Talladega, I had no knowledge of, like, I'd not looked into racing at all, that style of racing, to even understand why they're driving like they're driving. They're just following each other in a line. It makes no intuitive sense. But then after you explained it to me and then being able to actually see it in action and understanding, like, the small, I don't know, strategic things the cars are doing is a lot more enjoyable than the average person who looked at NASCAR who car drives in circle. Make left turn.
See, that was my viewpoint of it, and then I saw your video, and I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Well, I think it's pretty smart that you all frame it around one singular series where you kind of can get away with doing whatever topic you want. Where you made the first like never ever on SpongeBob, and then I wanted to watch the second episode, and it was one NASCAR, and I was like, I don't fucking care about NASCAR. But I watched it anyway, and I was like, okay, I kind of care now.
Yeah, there hasn't been a new Never Ever in a while.
Yeah.
I a lot of my videos now on the main channel, they're like standalone videos, and they're kind of in that vein. But it's weird. Like I kind of wanted to save the series to be like specials, almost like the super extra effort videos. But I don't know. I've kind of moved away from that a little bit. There will be more episodes in the future, but it has been a while. But I would say that at least the first couple episodes of Never Ever, the main channel standalone videos are kind of like that. But the point of Never Ever is to establish these. It's to celebrate exceptionalism and greatness, individual achievement, and not all of my videos are going to be about that, which is why I've made these videos where they're structurally similar, at least the current style of content on the channel, but it's not the same theme. So I wouldn't like to keep it in the same series. I prefer the series to just remain consistent in at least the tone it's trying to achieve.
Yeah, it allowed you to like pivot into having your channel be more of a thing where the viewer doesn't really know what to expect, or it could just
It's
be
a
anything.
broad
Yeah,
spectrum.
yeah, and I think I've positioned myself well in that aspect. And this is all from a lesson I learned back when I made YouTube poops. Everyone who doesn't know at this point, it's actually becoming a lot of people now because it's been so long. Like I used to make YouTube poops, like little remix edits on YouTube for like 6 years. I started like 2010. And it really kind of just started stopping in 2016. But yeah, I I just got tired of making them. I didn't want to make them anymore. And since it was the only thing I made on the channel, everyone tuned out when I stopped. And I used that lesson to sort of structure my content in the future. I've always been like the slow burn, long fuse type channel where my growth has been gradual.
Yeah.
But my channel managed to grow year after year, although it's not explosive growth. And that's because that's a consequence out of me making a wide variety of videos. Where after a while, once you can prove to a viewer that you can competently cover like different topic, and there's nothing really connecting them together besides you, then I feel like you as the creator become like the star of the show almost.
Yeah.
You become the reason people tune in, where it's no longer like, I want to watch this video about Hungrybox, the Melee player or whatever. And eventually it becomes, you start to train them to think like, yeah, I want to watch EmpLemon cover this topic.
Once they get familiar with your worldview, then it's just more interesting how, like, what's your take on this thing going to be, even if they're not interested in the thing itself.
Right.
Like, if you present yourself really cynical, they want to come to you to hear your absolute, like, cynical take on whatever it is.
And I've always been like anal retentive on shying away from topics that have been frequently covered. But I still say nowadays I got a lot of messages saying like, wow, you should make a video about this. But I always prefer to, if something's been covered, at least recently by a YouTuber, I prefer to give them that sort of space and not try to be like, oh yeah, well, here's my version of it. But lately, see, like I always get like requests to cover like stuff that's been covered a million times already by other people. And that's still like positive to me, because it shows people value like what I have to say specifically about something rather than just, I don't know, being another talking head talking about
your take
on
on
YouTube drop of the week. If you want that, you can go to my second channel, Downward Diary. It's a little bit more like that. But
with transitioning in content, how difficult was it going from making music and that being your channel for a while and then going into like the graphic novel?
I mean, it was weird because when I started YouTube, it was doing music, but it was like covers of old traditional songs. And my channel didn't really take off until I made the Knife Game song in 2011, but it took 2 years before that even blew up. And I wasn't really taking YouTube seriously until like I got a ton of subscribers. At the time was a lot, because like I got like 50,000 seemingly overnight. Like, all right, so I got to start figuring out what I'm even going to do on YouTube. Do I cover non-music related things, or do I just stick with trying to do, I don't know, traditional song covers or something along those lines? And I made a lot of goofy songs, like stuff that's just joking songs, but at the same time I was working on, albums that I take seriously.
Yeah.
Which was not a good thing to do under the same name, because then some people view me as like, oh, you're the Knife Game song guy. You just make all these like short goofy songs, and then they go, wow, but I found your real music, which is kind of cool. It's like using the meme to like pull people over into the art that you care about. Switching to comics was actually really difficult because, again, I had to neglect my YouTube channel and everything that I was doing, making music and making videos, because I was so unfamiliar with comic books and it took so much of my effort. It was hard to shift because I had to dedicate all my time to it, and it made everything else more difficult.
Yeah. Did you ever reach out to an agent about like distributing it?
I don't know how to do anything like that. I don't know how to reach out to agents or find managers. I talked to a few people who helped me figure out like how am I going to distribute it. I could go through a company like Dark Horse or one of these other independent comic companies, but I was advised against it because they pay so little, and they give you like an upfront budget, and you have to pay for everything kind of out of that budget, rather than crowdfunding it, in which case I could just get all the comics shipped to my house, package them, and send them off myself.
True.
Which is good in small batches, but it definitely would be easier to have someone just completely take care of that.
Yeah.
If it was price.
I've been here while you've been in like the shipping process. It's like a weeks and weeks long process, but it's worth it, I think, to like have the rights to your own work.
True.
feel like it's also more personable, like from a buyer standpoint, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind taking the time and doing like the gritty, unfun work around these creative projects because I appreciate them more. And, you know, I'll live stream me just packaging comics for 5 hours.
Yeah.
So anyone who cares to watch, you can see I'm actually doing this.
There you go.
Yeah.
Plug it.
What was that?
Do you want to plug it where you stream?
Oh, well, I'm not streaming anymore.
Okay.
But
Just kidding. Get
Yeah.
wrecked.
The Rusty Cage show may be coming back,
the Rusty
sometime
Cage
in the
show
future.
will be coming back soon, sometime at the
Yes.
end of this year.
and I will be there, ladies and gentlemen.
So as far as like the future of Requiem of the Crazies, like are we to expect a volume 4?
Yeah, there has to be. I mean, I was marketing it as having 8 volumes, and I had the stories pretty much already written out, at least like an outline of them. So my next goal is, whenever I free up from other projects, I'm going to get back to issue 4. I'm going to start hiring out art, which is really rough because you want to be the one who does everything. So it's like purely your project, but that takes me the longest, and I'm not necessarily the best artist. So if I could hire someone who has like an art style that's comparable, or
Similar.
Yeah,
To
yeah.
replicate it.
then it would make sense just to pay them to do it. I wouldn't profit as much, but if I could make more comics and get it done in a more timely manner, then realistically, I think like Requiem with the Crazies, the comic series is gonna be something that it'll take a while to do, and I'll be older, but at least I'll know that I created an entire comic series.
Yeah.
And I'll figure out at that point what I did wrong, what I could do better. Can I do this faster, or is this something I even want to do at all going forward?
That's fair. I respect that, dedicating yourself to a project to see what the end result is
Yeah.
and where to go from there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting with this one too, because, you know, from episode to episode or issue to issue, I see things that I can improve upon from the one that came before. And so it's almost going to be like it's going to read like a growing
Like a
experience.
chronicle of like,
Yeah.
Which I think even the readers would like enjoy. Like
Mhm.
imagine 10 years from now when they make it and adapt it into a series like on HBO or something, and then everyone's like, yeah, when I was reading the comics, like I could see like the growth, like the artistic growth.
That definitely happens in like TV shows. Like Simpsons season 1 is completely different than
Yeah.
season 5.
Would you prefer the art style from season 1? Or
I like the middle season.
yeah.
It was like Class B Chupo, right? Did the
Yeah.
Yeah.
original Simpsons.
This looks terrible.
They look messed up.
They look like
Dying
dumb.
characters.
What do you think as far as like YouTube long term longevity of it? How do you guys feel about that as far as
I
like
think YouTube is very well positioned. And despite how much of my prior history has been based on like complaining about YouTube, they've really tightened up the ship in the last several years. They're doing good. YouTube's got good management and good people work there. I haven't been like brainwashed or anything, don't worry. But like as I've grown through the system, and I've had problems. There's times where the automated system still messes up, but in general, like the experience I've had with the actual people working behind the scenes at YouTube, and I have talked to them briefly. They're doing what they can, and they're smart. They're not like insane people, like the types of people who work at Facebook and Twitter. YouTube is well run, in my general opinion.
I'm
Like-
wondering how they're going to handle the potential and current and also growing influx of content that's like just overwhelming them. Having an algorithm that, as you see, just year on year is completely changing because of how much stuff is being uploaded, how everyone's an influencer now and a creator. And then now you're adding in AI, which is going to allow so much instantly auto-generated content
Yeah.
that's going to
AI is like, yeah, we see those like videos now where the president's playing video games
Playing
like
Roblox.
after.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Roblox.
I'm like that content's so easy to like he's turning like quick shorts
Mhm.
and just
Yeah.
upload like I've seen a lot of like channels recently. Everywhere we've been on this road trip so far, everyone I've met have been like do shorts. Shorts is the way
Everybody,
to go for like growing a YouTube channel.
just growth,
Oh.
not exactly like
Not getting money, not
revenue-wise.
profit, but growing your channel. Because I was I would see all these channels who I've been following for years who had like no subscribers or like they're dead channels, and I would see them and they'd get like like 30, 40K in a month. And I'd be like, what the fuck happened? That's more than I get. And then I'd always go back and look at it, all shorts getting millions of views.
Yeah.
So
We're saying 30, 40K views.
Subscribers.
Yeah.
You were telling us 2 last night.
Right. I mean, I made 3 shorts for my last video, and each of them, or 2 of them, got like 2.5 million views and about 10,000 subscribers a piece. I'm going, this is just a cheap 1-minute clip, not even particularly interesting.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I try to get like a short format thing so there's an overarching story within that 1 minute. But yeah, they push it so much now, which is good. So everyone really should be doing shorts if you want to get that subscriber growth.
Yeah.
I just wish it paid more. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still a bit of a holdout on the shorts part of things. It's probably because like my content doesn't really translate well to shorts.
You could probably
could.
do it. I mean, if you just have
Yeah.
like a quick point that you're making within, that can kind of just be wrapped up in the idea itself without having to give the entire context.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I know they got it good now where it's like separate, but I always remember just when it was coming out how it would be like combined in like the same
The watch
feed,
time,
and
and
then
like,
like
oh, this short only got like 5 seconds of
Yeah.
watch time.
Yeah.
Compared to this video, they got like
Your
20
channel
minutes.
is dying.
Yeah, I was terrified of that. Then I got like a representative recently for a couple months who was like, do shorts, and I was like, no, I don't want to. It's gonna fuck up my algorithm. She was like, no, we fixed it. It's not like that
fixed
anymore.
it, yeah.
But yeah, for the past couple months, I didn't trust them on it because I wouldn't be surprised if they just tell me that and then it would still fuck with you in some way. But I really think the last thing that truly like brings shorts back is the like negative stigma around it on a viewer side, where
It's really like 2 types of viewers. I think
Yeah.
there's people who like shorts and there's people who do not. And if you start putting them out, like only one part of your audience is gonna watch them.
But that's
Yeah.
the thing, it's becoming so popular that everyone's going to start doing it, and eventually those who don't like it will be desensitized.
yeah, I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I mean, that's already started happening. Just seeing shorts not in your recommended feed, but like on your homepage when you go to YouTube, you see someone uploaded a short. Before it was like, oh, I hate it. It looks so bad. It's messing up my feed. But now, you know, you're so used to seeing them. It's not crazy to see like someone you follow posted just a short video.
Yep.
It's more content for people who want more content.
Yeah, and it also opens it up to like a new, because there's probably like millions of people now who only watch YouTube Shorts and
Yep.
don't care about like any kind of long form content. So you're just like getting a fan base through somewhat of like a different medium.
Because it's so similar to TikTok, and they're trying to replicate that. People go and they want to see their favorite YouTubers doing TikTok 4 minutes.
Yeah,
You
so
know.
I've just started doing like yesterday, I just started doing shit where it's like, oh, if I couldn't make this topic into a full video, so I'll just talk about it for a minute. Like the art style thing you were talking about, I just made one yesterday being like here's early South Park, and let's talk about the way like the art style slowly transitioned into this newer like clear style. And I just like, because I already have it, I'm like, fuck it, I'll make a TikTok too, and it got like 25,000 views
Like the
in
first
like a
couple
night.
hours.
Yeah, and I was like, fuck, it's easy content. So
Now, here's what I'm saying is why instead of doing, because they're going to push shorts and shorts don't really pay well in ad revenue. What if you just made that a 1 minute video?
True.
You would
Yeah.
still pop up on people's feeds the same. It wouldn't be pushed as much by the
It's
algorithm.
gotta be
but
formatted like the vertical orientation though, right?
Yeah.
it's for it to
For it to
to
be
work on
short.
shorts.
Yeah.
But
But
you're
if you
saying,
just-
what if I just made it a regular like 1 minute
1
video?
minute
yeah, and then you get maybe not near as many views as if it was a short, but you get paid the ad revenue for it.
Yeah.
True.
That might start looking more messy on a channel unless you
Yeah.
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
categorize it.
I've been toying around with making just a shorts channel.
That's
No.
yeah, that's what I've seen people do.
It's like I really prefer to like not have it be
Not
in the
muddy
same
it.
system.
Yeah.
Like I'm still paranoid about that. I know they say
That's why I'm
That's
glad they at
effective.
least like made a new like tab on the
yeah,
channel.
it's like the short shelf.
So-
thing.
All right, so on my main channel, I have 4 shorts now, and now I see when they rank them, it's not like ranking a short along with your last 10.
Yeah, it's only the shorts.
That's
right.
cool.
And so that was like when I saw that
They're slowly like improving it.
Yeah.
But if you were to make a separate shorts channel, I wouldn't be surprised if you would get like an audience of people who didn't even know you had a main channel. Because I've seen people who have like 200,000 subscribers making normal videos, and then they make a separate shorts channel, and I look at them now and they have like 400,000 subscribers on the shorts channel.
Blows up.
And each short has like 10 million views, way more than they're getting on the main channel.
Okay, let's do it.
That's
Shorts
my
channel,
thought. Is like
yeah.
everyone
Why
I'm
not?
talking to just keeps convincing me on shorts, and I'm like, fucking might as well
That's the
short.
thing. It brought on the thought if it's so easy for you to get subscribers through shorts because they're trying to push this out, it's going to get to a point where everyone's going to catch on to that and they're going to change it. And it won't be as easy for you to get subscribers, and they won't be pushing out certain shorts.
Yeah.
Right.
So now, if anything, is a better time to capitalize on it.
Our Rusty Shorts.
And
And
you could, like, whatever like maintenance that you're doing on the guillotine, you can make that a short.
I'm lazy about that. I know that's what I have to be doing every day. If I'm doing anything, I should just film something like, hey, I'm just building this to cover up my tools. This is the shack coming off of the guillotine.
TikTok loves that.
They
You
love
see videos that are just like, oh, they're like 37. I'm trying to like fix my bathroom, and it just like
And
just
it's
type
like
one tile and like
And that's kind of changing. That's like me having to familiarize myself with how people consume content. I'm still kind of in this boomer mindset where there has to be a lot of, dense information filmed or like put in this 1 minute segment where people really get a lot out of it, rather than just
people just want to see
They just want to
moving
see
it.
videos.
Because
they're following along with your journey as slow or as fast as you're taking it.
Who was that guy you showed us yesterday? The one that eats the tough food and spits it out?
Haritsu.
Okay, so that guy is interesting because he just has a disgusting home and makes food, and he chews up his food and spits it, and it's like everything's rotting. But then he also has videos where he's cleaning stuff,
Right.
and you're like, oh, that's kind of nice. And like, you don't give a shit what he says, you don't give a shit what he's doing, but you're watching him clean. Yeah, you're just watching him clean, and like, what's the difference between something like that and then like, oh, I'm going to like vacuum my living room and like tidy up thing, and there's a time lapse and little dogs running around, like, and that would still be just as like interesting for
Visually,
people.
like,
yes,
appealing to, like,
because it follows that
duty. Yeah.
exactly. Yes, and like
It's weird. I'm trying to like learn it and figure it out, but it's confusing.
Yeah.
What people want to see nowadays.
I mean, with those cleaning ones, like when you see the progress, that's got to tap into some. Like if they don't see anything really visually becoming clean as you're cleaning the house, it might not mean much. But if they see like, oh, look how much better it looks at the end than at the beginning,
It's
Yeah.
satisfying.
Yeah.
it's satisfying to watch, and then probably a little soul crushing because they're still in bed for 4 hours,
watch
like
drawing. Oh,
in a house, a filthy house.
One thing that's always concerned me about the shorts end of YouTube is that as I go on through my career, I'm starting to realize that not all views are created equal.
Yeah.
It's like there's like high impact and low impact views, and I'm not like opposed to the idea of shorts conceptually, but I'm just worried of like, what if I spend all this effort going through these shorts and like people would watch them, but like you can't convert the viewers to anything.
Right.
Because I'm wondering if it's like if you just work on it and just goes to a dead end. If I were to do shorts, I'd probably have to like outsource it to someone for just convert my existing videos into shorts, so like I wouldn't have to spare the effort.
Yeah.
Yes,
But yeah, I'm now starting to see the value of there's like high quality viewers on YouTube
Mhm.
who will like tune in to long form videos with ads like over and over again, and it's hard to tell if you will be able to get that through shorts, because there's a lot of people, one, they're probably not watching content because they're actually interested in seeing something.
They're just
They're
wasting.
probably just like
Yeah.
in line at McDonald's or something.
So they're not really a
Pass the
fan. They're
time.
just watching something.
Yeah, I mean, and like you get views, they'll do crazy numbers, but
The second they
there's
take you out of that
there's like
algorithm where they're showing you a lot, those same viewers who might have been interested in your stuff from the shorts,
yeah.
they'll forget about you. They don't know that you do anything else.
And
Yeah.
like so, I talked to Brandon Buckian a couple weeks ago, and he recently had a video get a lot of views, talking about his experience with Sneeko. And ever since, I don't know what happened. There's like ever since Charlie called out Sneeko, there's been like this massive viewer base for like random Sneeko genre videos. Like you just have like a channel with like 100 subscribers, upload a video about Sneeko and get 100,000 views. And so like Brandon, who was pretty like intimately involved with Sneeko in the recent history of his channel, he made a video that got like 1.4 million views or something in like a few weeks. But he complained that his next video was like a 10 out of 10, like by far, like it really underperformed. And we seem to suspect it's because the click-through rate was really poor, because a lot of people came in from the Sneeko video. So then it's like, oh, you like Brandon's videos? Here's his next video.
That doesn't
Not
fit
about
there.
like the drama that they clicked on. They just didn't click on it and it didn't get recommended. So that's like a case where it's like, yeah, he made the video, he got a lot of views, short-term gain, but it like messed with his next video. And like a lot of those viewers were just like, they weren't there for him. They didn't care about him. They just want to watch another drama video about Sneeko. And they didn't like convert into actual viewers for the channel. So I think about this stuff.
I think that's
a
gonna be
lot.
really hard. Yeah, is like when you do get that like love that spotlight put on you. Like you've been trying for years and years to get like the algorithm to notice you. When it does, like what do you do? So I see a lot of people who will have a video do really well, so their next one will just be like, this thing again, part 2, and I'm like, but you don't want people to think that that's all you're
right.
known for.
And
So
that's what I was getting at earlier, where I structure my channel where people will like be content with me talking about like any sort of topic. Like I talk about movies and then I talk about sports in the next video. These are like two things that are like they're not supposed to mix.
But
like the Venn diagram of like audience is very low, but I guess I'm just like I'm like some kind of node where I get people to cross over almost.
Yeah, no, I've been trying to do that too, where I'll like cover like just like animation or movies or like live action stuff or video games, and sometimes I'll just talk about like online culture. I'll talk about like myself and my own like content creation journey, and I feel like it is good to have a fan base that cares more about you than the topic that you're discussing, which I think a lot of channels struggle with. Which is hard because I can't imagine being in that position where
it's hard because the growth will definitely be slower.
I know that like a lot of concerns that you have as far as like when you want to like branch off from making like a cartoon video review or something, you're like, oh, I want to talk about this topic that means a lot to me, and maybe it won't do well, but I know it means a lot to me.
Yeah, so I try to do like a give and take, where it's like I'll upload this video that I know people will want to see and will know will do well, and so the next one I can do one that's just for me.
Yeah, it's discouraging when like a lot of my favorite videos that I've ever worked on, they're not the best performing.
Yeah,
they're like in the recent sample, they're like usually the bottom part because they're usually more obscure, they're more niche.
Yeah.
What about the opposite of that, when you're just making kind of like a throwaway or filler content?
Like 2 days ago, where I was telling you on the road for this road trip, I've been like really struggling to keep up with doing like weekly videos, but so I worked on the video literally at nighttime while you were sleeping.
It was like in the hotel room at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, and my editor edited it overnight, and I put it up in the morning. 100K in 6 hours.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's nice and all, but I don't feel like this video constitutes that much
Did
views.
it feel fulfilling?
Yeah, no, it did not at all.
It could be challenging for sure, where it feels like it's easy to get in the mindset where it's like, oh, well, the crappy stuff is just going to get views and I'll just do that only. But there are long-term benefits from just sticking your guns and really like ironing out the passion projects. Like you will make good impressions on like the people behind the screens. It might not show up directly in like crazy views for one day.
Yeah.
But like I said, there's high quality viewers, there's low quality viewers. You will generate high quality viewers and develop this consistency over time if you like just don't trend chase.
Yeah.
And it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
When you know people come to you and they're like, I really like this video, like this changed how I thought about something, or how you edited it. It was super fucking tight. Rather than if you're just doing something that they know they can entertain themselves for 10 minutes or 20 minutes watching, and take nothing away from it.
The saying I always give, it's not hard on YouTube to make someone watch your video once. The hard part is getting them to watch you twice. And that is where there's like a big gap between, oh yeah, most of the video is okay, I don't really care. If another video of his comes up in my recommended, whatever, I probably won't watch it. First that versus the idea is like, wow, that was a really good experience. Right. I will watch more of what he has to make.
Yeah.
I think I've experienced like that through both of your guys' content.
Yep.
Where I watched one of your videos and I was like, holy fuck, I really like this. I want to see what else they have. You know? And I think like both of you guys have a talent of like articulating your thoughts in such a you way. I don't know how else to describe it. You know? And like somebody like me is attracted to something like that, you know?
I put a lot of time into writing. It's a big reason why the videos take so long on the main channel now. I really pay a lot of attention to writing, and people
word choice.
Yeah, like specific diction. People wonder, it's like, people think it's pretentious sometimes when I like tweet stuff out by using like 3-syllable vocabulary words. They think I'm doing it just to sound smart, but it's like, no. As you develop your skill in writing, you will start to see that certain words are just more precise for filling out certain objectives and impressions that you want to create on the audience. And yeah, it's hard to like, it's easy to like write something mediocre and just like passable, but now have it like sound like ChatGPT. But to really like differentiate yourself, you need to put in a lot of time to really iron out it's more like the structure. That's what really makes writing impactful and powerful. I always, I get a lot of messages from like aspiring content creators asking for writing tips. And one of the first things I tell them is always, your story has to have, if you're making something that tells a story, it always has to have a beginning, middle, and end. And like the end is the hardest part. That is where like the sauce of the video is going to be. That is where like the biggest impression you're going to make on the viewer is. You got to get them there, which is why you need a good beginning and middle. But like the end is where everything has to tie together. And a lot of people argue that they don't write endings. They just abruptly end the videos. And there's nothing wrong with that specifically. But if you want to maybe like showcase your writing a little bit and make that like a big part of your skill set, you have to like sort of master the technique of writing satisfying endings to your projects, because that is what leads people to convert to like good viewers and make them want to watch more, rather than just saying like, okay, and then that was the end.
I just put to be continued at the end of all my videos.
Oh yeah,
so it's coming.
I guess that's one
grand
way.
ending.
So I have a couple questions. One being for you, Rusty. One being, are you planning? Sorry, not that one. Will you ever sell any CD or vinyls or soundtracks of greatest hits? Sell any music that you've made?
It'd be hard to. I mean, yeah, I would sell. It's so weird. A lot of people ask me for CDs because I used to sell physical CDs, you know, packaged up nicely. And who even has a CD player?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, hasn't vinyl sales once again surpassed CD sales?
Right. And so I mean, I realized what they actually seem like they want is not to be able to put a CD in their old car, but just to have some physical
thing, room, yeah,
and rather than just a digital file to listen to. And I would like to do vinyl. The problem with vinyl is that it's expensive.
And Taylor Swift has like ruined the market quite a lot for vinyl production.
Has she?
I haven't heard something where like the production of one of her new records in vinyl, like it literally used up all the vinyl distributors because they were planning to sell many. So like anyone who wanted to make a vinyl like could not make one without like an exorbitant price, because Taylor Swift literally sponged up the entire distribution process of like every vinyl distributor.
Okay, when that ends, then I think I've been saying for a while. It feels weird like to make vinyls. It feels weird to make vinyls
out of like digital
files that were on albums that I made over the past 10 years. I would, if people really wanted them, if I think I can sell enough of them to justify all the costs. But you know, people have to pay for it. That's the thing, they're expensive.
You can do a Kickstarter like Indiegogo or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be something like that, like a pre-order type of system where if this doesn't even get reached, this bare minimum of how many I would want to even go through at this.
Isn't there that website that does that? The Corey did?
Yeah. You know Friday Night Funkin'?
Yes.
Like the game?
No.
Okay. Well, they crowdfunded the game to be made, and they were making vinyls, and it was through a company who, it was kind of like a makeshift company.
Well, I thought it was Corey who did it for his ska band.
He did do it for, okay, yeah, no, they did it for both. I think they used the same company.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Corey has a band, Corey's Spaz Kid. He's got a band called The Third Rates, and they made vinyls, and it's kind of like a makeshift.
It's like a website where it's like, you need to sell this many for production.
Right.
So it's like they need pre-orders, like 200, like makeshift, like 200 pre-orders, and then they'll make the vinyls for you if you reach that quota, and they'll distribute it for you.
I just wonder, I mean, I'd have to really hype people up for the vinyls. I don't know if I could necessarily get 200 people to buy this for 4 albums plus an upcoming 5th album. Maybe it won't be as hard as I think. I kind of underestimate.
I think you've been going at it for so long that I feel like you have a pretty big
you have a very dedicated fan base.
Yeah, like, that would be the way to do it. Yeah, get all those. And
you got to hope that one of your songs, you start uploading your songs to TikTok and have one of the trending
songs.
They had a few that were a few years back on TikTok. They were really cringy songs. They were like
the fidget spinner.
Yeah, the fidget spinner song.
Fidget spinner, my favorite trend. It helps me to forget that I don't have any friends.
It's the worst song I've ever made. Like YouTube, you can't even search for the song on YouTube. It won't show up.
They knew what to do.
Blacklisted from being searched for a multitude of reasons, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I will do vinyl because I understand the importance of having physical media. I think a lot of stuff that I create is based around having intellectual property that I can sell forever.
Yeah.
Like if I make these comics, I have these comics, I can make the 4th edition. People who've never read it before will buy the first 3. And it's not going to be just forgotten. It all like compounds on itself.
Yeah.
And music is something that I don't want to say this about videos because I'm not fully sure, but it seems like videos they're easy to be lost in time because of how many are coming out. But somehow music gets a pass where like people are still willing to hear something and go, oh, I'm going to listen to all of your songs, your whole discography. Rather than I'm going to watch every single video on your channel. So yeah, there'll be vinyls to come.
And then I had a question for you was, would you ever think of making like a featured film type documentary on a topic?
I've thought about this frequently. I don't know if I'd go in the film direction, although it would probably be the next logical step. But what I'd be interested in is actually making like a mini series for something like Netflix. But that would be life after YouTube. I would not be able to do at least main channel YouTube if that were to happen. But yeah, I have a few ideas for just a mini series I could pitch to networks. I guess my main idea, it would be like sort of a spiritual successor to the show Penn and Teller Bullshit.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Give me on there.
People also say it would be like Adam ruins everything, but I swear it's not going to be. It's not going to be like Adam Conover. The style is going to actually be not annoying. But I would want a show where I just it would be complaining, but it'd be like professionally where I'm complaining about just stuff that annoys me in society as I've been imprinted. But yeah, I do know the Kino Corner though, so and he's got like connections now. So if I were to make like a professional documentary film, I could do that. But the thing is, like that, it's already like kind of like what I do. It would have to be a little different, but I figure like just if it is a movie, why not just make another video? But I don't know.
If you expand onto a different market, if you put it on more normie apps, if it's on Netflix now, where some people they're not going to be on the side of YouTube where they might find your content.
True.
And now if it doesn't just get lost in like
well, isn't that what happens with most of them? Like how much stuff gets put on Netflix that's just like never seen?
Right.
It's just completely irrelevant.
Or just like make a feature like documentary for submitted to like film festivals or something. Some like thing that makes it seem like somewhat legitimized.
Maybe. Maybe.
And who knows putting? Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, finish your thought.
I've always been more of a TV watcher than a film watcher, so maybe that's why my brain is more geared to like just an episodic thing. I feel like TV shows generally have more staying power over movies because it's a lot less expenditure of effort for the viewer to watch just one episode of a TV show, but they still know the TV show. Whereas a movie, hour and a half, 2-3 hours, it's a lot harder of a sell to get out there. But like everyone has usually seen like one episode of any given TV show. So that's probably the direction I'd want to go with that sort of life after YouTube trajectory, but we'll see what happens. I'm not discontent with making content on YouTube just yet. So, and there's a lot of ideas I want to see just fulfilled, but maybe by the time I start getting my 30s, that's when I might start looking at that. And who knows, maybe by then Gamer from Mars will be a billionaire and he'll be able to hook me up with anything.
This is what question I have for everyone is, and this is something that I struggle with a lot, is like the need, now that YouTube has become way more of a business rather than just a creative outlet, and you have to be posting a certain amount of videos at the exact times and training your audience and really treating it like production schedule, it becomes scary to try to explore more creative ventures or different creative ventures, right? Because it'll take away from what you have to do, which is maintain this continuous system of pumping out videos that you can make in whatever timely manner. And I wonder, like, do you feel that stress, or do you feel like there's a way to get around it while maintaining one, but being able to explore?
Well, I opened up the second channel, Downward Diary, like last year. I was on the fence over whether I wanted to do it or just focus on main channel because it does take resources away. But over time, I found the need to have an outlet for just this type of content that would now be out of place on the main channel. At one time or another throughout the channel's history, videos might be like that, and I could have gone away with it, but now it would just be too jarring. I just want an alternative. I wanted a place to build my skill set in other departments, being on camera, live action, something I've never really done to a super huge extent on EmpLemon. I want something unscripted, so I could be better at being, I guess, performance in live settings. And eventually the idea is I'm going to include more live action segments in my main channel where it's just going to be less preparation required, more dynamic content. But yeah, I wanted to branch out, so I made a new channel for it. It's hard to long-term justify just doing it on the main channel, because then you end up with just like this
Messy.
weird mix of
shit.
stuff.
It's smart though to do it with Netflix when there's like less sticks, just to like
Yes.
focus and then slowly transition.
And I've been having a lot of fun with it. That's the thing.
That's
It's the fun channel.
Yeah.
Now the main channel, I don't dislike working on the main channel, but it is like a more professional, stressful process.
Well, good job.
Yeah.
It's cool. You can just start over on something and you're not getting near the amount of views, but now you get 10 subscribers and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, it's starting.
Yeah, it's like the dopamine is like completely rewired.
You
when I
lower
visit
the bar
that channel
for
again.
yourself.
It's
Yeah.
fulfilling. It's like more
yeah.
fulfilling.
But I like just being able to not have to, because the videos on the main channel now are so planned and structured. I like being able to just pick up a camera and speaking off the cuff. Something I've never really done until now, but it's good. Like when I'm driving through the Oklahoma Panhandle, I could just turn on the GoPro, suction cup it up, and make a video complaining about iDubbbz for the third time. So that's nice. I really admire the flexibility, and hopefully, my intent is for that channel to become the earnings channel, because I've never really been a big earner on EmpLemon, despite the views I get, because I just don't upload frequently. I don't have that many total videos, whereas a lot of the YouTube revenue is made off the aggregate of just like having this huge catalog of videos to recommend out to people. So that's what I'm hoping Downward Diary can be, and EmpLemon can remain passion projects that just take forever to come out.
I feel the same way, and we've been talking about this, but like an event will happen and I'm like, I should remark on that. Would love to make a video on it, but I'm in the middle of a 5-video serialized thing. It would make 0 sense.
Yeah.
And then even I don't want to take away from the aesthetics of that video by like uploading and confusing it on the second channel.
Right.
So to be able to comfortably have where you can just upload more off the cuff stuff, which isn't easy to do at first, especially when you come from a background where you're really framing your writing a certain way, and now you have to have that same type of focused mindset in real time as you're recording.
It's definitely something I've had to learn, but I've been getting tangibly better. Like it'll take me less time now than compared to when I started in like August recording these things. It'll take me less time now to really get out what I have to say it convincingly.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just different parts of your brain.
Yeah, you have to practice.
It's a completely different part of your brain reading off a script, like delivering voiceover consistently, which I hate because I'm a total perfectionist when it comes to that. I do like 20 takes for one line. It's awful. I would not recommend people get in that mindset. But yeah, when I'm just doing speaking like I am now with no script, I've definitely gotten significantly better at it. And there's a marked improvement even from the beginning of Downward Diary. Even when back on like the state of the YouTube days, I've become a lot more well spoken, and that's something I'm just continuously trying to improve. Not like actively like super try-harding, but like just over time. I watch the videos back, saying like I can see this, and this.
You ingest it, you see how you present yourself.
Say it more clearly
about what to do afterwards.
And eventually, I think you just train that part of your brain. And yeah, it's interesting. It's funny. Like most people are like, a lot of people in the general world, they'd be like camera shy, and that would be the part they have to get over. I've weirdly like never really gotten stage fright over like making these YouTube videos. My part is always just like stressing on like trying to sound articulate and really like getting what I'm trying to say in my head out with my verbalization of whatever I'm discussing. But yeah, that's definitely something I'm looking forward to, and I'm glad I opened the second channel. I don't regret it, and I don't think it's a waste of time, because I am just as I spent a long time building the main channel, I'm hoping to build this one out too, and people are responding well to it. It's like a different side of me. I think most of the audience, they enjoy it. They enjoy the more like intimate, casual feel of the videos.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm excited about going forward.
That's great.
What about you?
I feel very stressed about like content creation all the time. I don't mind. I kind of like the stress, if anything. Where I'm like trying to upload at least one video on a main channel every 1 to 2 weeks, and I've gotten to that point now where it's like, whatever the topic is, I have to make it up in the spot, because I'm like running out of like long-lasting ideas. Right. But then after like a certain month, I'll get like 5 at once, you know, write them all down. But usually like all the ideas I have now are like hour-long videos, and I can't do that on the road.
How long does it take you to write an hour-long video?
See, I'm very bad where I'll write out my notes, I'll write out the structure of how I want everything to flow together, and then I'll write a little bit, and then I'll be really lazy with it. I'll write a thing for a week, and then I'll come and do it all in like 1 or 2 days. Or it's just like I can just like focus on it completely for like hours at a time, and just like get
You
it all
wait till
done.
like the last 2 days before the video is going out, and you're like, okay, all right.
Yeah, but then I get it done, and I'm like, there's everything I wanted to say. And
Yeah.
But then after that, I also so like Sonic, I wanted to do a second channel where I just talk about whatever niche random thing where it's like I want the videos to be well lower effort, like way worse editing, but it's just me talking about a single like random niche thing I like, and that channel started doing well. Got like 80,000 subscribers. But,
Cool.
I can't upload as frequently. It's like once a month, but every time I do, people like it a lot. So it's like a fun side thing to do. But then it got to the point where that started becoming like, okay, I can't treat this so like that's such
Fair.
yeah, I gotta actually treat this as a thing now, because people are like responding to it and watching it. So no, then we did the podcast,
Yeah.
so it's like another thing to consider doing every week. And then
Doing the pilot.
I'm working on a cartoon with them, like a 15-minute animation. So I've got like a bunch of animators and compositors, and all the animation has been working on it for like 2 years, and all the animation is finally done. So I just have a compositor now going through adding like nice sliding effects to it. So that'll be done soon. I don't have to worry about that anymore.
And then our secret project.
And then this
Yeah.
project I'm working on right now, where it's like 5 different things I'm trying to work on at once. But I don't mind that. I complain to her a lot that I'm like stressed, but I like
But
it
then he's
more
like,
than anything.
yeah.
Yeah, the word's like I do another thing.
Are you actually doing it? Or are you keeping up, or do you find yourself
Oh,
falling behind?
No, I mean
You've been pretty good.
usually it's if I ever fall behind on anything, it's like, oh, I didn't get a video out this week. Well, I'll just put it out next week instead. You know, or it's just like I'll miss a week, but I've never
go for it.
Yeah, I've never like been set in stone of like one video a week. It's always like one every 1 or 2 weeks, you know. So if I miss it the first week, then I'll just go up the second, and it gives me another week to like make it better.
The problem I always had with switching from different projects is when I'm working on one thing, I'm completely absorbed in that.
Yeah.
I don't think about music. I don't listen to music. If I'm working on the comic book, for instance, all I think about is like color theory and how could I get this perspective better, or what are other ways? How many different panels can I fit on a page while still telling? I don't think about music. And then when I finish the comic, I pick up the guitar and I can't play it anymore. Like my hands are atrophied in many ways. Like forget.
Calluses are gone.
Yeah, you have to like relearn everything. And then if I'm working on an album, that's all I think about. And so I'm trying to figure out a system where one day I'm working fully absorbed on a song that I'm working on, and then the next day I'm thinking about
Story, that's hard.
Yeah.
I'm definitely more like you in that regard, Rusty. Where
It's not a bad.
I can only work on like one, as for the main channel, I can only work on one video at a time. I can't really approach anything else until it's complete. I'll do like preliminary research and like jot down notes, but in terms of actually going through and like writing the stuff, even like the individual phases of the video, is now hard for me to do multiple. Like when I'm writing, I gotta be focused on writing. I can't focus on like trying to think about visual composition.
You almost have to bring
Piece it
yourself
together.
emotionally into that.
It's like
particular
it's like
song.
there's like a lot of momentum to it, where this happens all the time, especially with writing, where I gotta get warmed up. I have to like just sit staring at the script that I've already written for like 15 minutes to say like, okay, this is where it's got to go next. And it's like one sentence, and then maybe there we'll start getting a little bit, but
I get too carried away where I'll write a paragraph and then I'll get halfway through and I'll be like, okay, well, I know why I want to get into the next point, so I'll just skip to the next paragraph and I'll start writing the next one, and then I'll figure out a way to like connect the two like dots together. So that's something that helps me.
I think like juggling writing and then making music and then making art is like you're in completely different mindsets for each. Or at least for me, like I don't do music, but I'll be working on like a comic, and then I'll work on Patreon stuff, and then I'll work on a commission, and then I'll do like thumbnail art, or someone else would commission me for their thumbnail art, and it's like each one is a different mindset I get into. It's like I'm not gonna have the same mindset I would drawing like a porn comic for a thumbnail for someone, you know? Like you
don't want to mix the two.
Yeah, I don't want to mix the two. But it is like it's this thing where like for instance, if I'm working on a comic and I'm drawing, I don't think about I just like naturally will just compose it, you know what I mean? I'll have a movie on and I'm like, and then I'll have like my iPod or like my phone with like TikTok, and I'm listening to like 4 different things and I'm drawing, and like that's how my brain works when I'm in that mindset. But if I'm working on something where it's like a personal drawing for myself or like event drawing, I don't listen to anything.
Yeah,
I'm sitting in silence.
Yes. Yeah, I can't really listen to music while I write at all.
Or edit.
Or edit.
Same thing.
Yeah, it distracts me too much.
It stresses me when people do any like art. If they're actually working on an art-related project while streaming and still answering chat,
I did that for a while, and
I would not be able to say anything. I'd just be completely silent.
I never understood that like thing where, because one of my old commentary videos of what was me fighting about the game grams, just bitching about them, and I always had that thought of like, are they so like bad at like this game or like forgetting like where to go, like if the game just tells them. And then we tried recording us playing a game a couple months ago, and I get it. I keep like we just ran around in circles for like 30 minutes.
Fair, we were playing.
Well, I never played it before.
Never played Kingdom
But
Hearts.
then I didn't even process that I was just running around in circles for like 30 minutes because we were trying to talk at the same time. I was like, I got to give Aaron Hansen some credit. This is hard.
There you go. Go on and give your policy.
Sorry, Aaron, for that video.
But not sorry, because it got us together. So thanks, Aaron.
It's true.
Get that light.
Nope.
That's okay.
It's the set falling apart.
Yeah, it's like beautiful.
Yeah, see, that's a sign. That's
like
fair. Leave that in, Bruce.
But I appreciate you guys coming on the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for
especially together. I know we were going to do one last night in your tent, that we just didn't.
But it probably would have been a lot more uncomfortable in this hot Florida heat.
We filmed the thing with Turkey Tom in the tent last year, and that footage will never be released.
Yeah, you told like 9 people in a tent.
Oh,
what a completely awful experience. I'm glad we're here in the studio and not in the tent.
Right.
I swear.
But I looked at you and you had the like tab, and you're like, please not do the tent. And I was like, yeah, fair. It's completely fair.
But if anyone wanted to check out some of your stuff, where would they have to go?
YouTube.com, Rusty Cage on YouTube, or on that's all.
Yeah, put it up here, Bruce.
Yeah.
EmpLemon on YouTube, EmpLemon if you want the good stuff. Downward Diary if you want something more after watching the main channel videos. And I'm also on Twitter at EmpLemon, not verified. Will probably never be verified. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you don't know me, hopefully
get to know him.
Hopefully I'll give you something you enjoy.
Check
some
out
topic, some video.
The NASCAR video.
Yes, there are multiple.
Yes.
But yes.